Good morning. We're back at the factory. Getting started a little earlier than yesterday. We'll see how much we get done today. Alright. Last time, we built a single foundry that's making steel ingots. And we're also making steel pipes. How nice. Alright. I seem to recall that, like, yeah, the belt that's handling the output is not great here. I didn't quite have time to finish this operation, so let's do that. So that side's gonna be making steel pipes. I want to also have some different constructors on this side making steel plates. Good morning, Mast Saw. Glad to see you're up early. I'll just go there. And then okay. I have to remember how to do this. Okay. We want steel beam, not steel plate. Steel plate doesn't exist. Okay. And then mergers. Yep, conveyor merger. Oh, I should get up on top of here. Yeah. Conveyor merger. Pointing that way. So, yeah, steel beams, one constructor does not make them very fast. Okay. I'm going to extend this foundation just a bit. All right. So as the stream title implies, I expect most of my operations today to involve steel processing. Let's just put this, like, here. Yeah. And I'm going to put a splitter there, and then that will feed into there, and then this will go like that. Okay, so now we just need power and then to feed steel ingots in there, which actually I should probably set up the feeds first. It's easy to get yourself into trouble by building power poles first and then finding out the conveyor belts that you want. run into the power poles, so... Okay, while we're over here, let's update the output of this, which means, no, we need a splitter, okay. There. Okay, so those are the primary steel products. And I mean, the expectation is that we will eventually expand our capacity for manufacturing steel. Since just one foundry is not very many. Not very much. What am I trying to say? I don't know. In fact, since we obviously have we're producing a lot more iron ore and coal than we're consuming, so can I just make another foundry? Actually, I make 2 foundries. Alright, so this requires encased in steel industrial beam. Oh, I'm gonna need more concrete. I have it on good authority. Yeah, there's a limestone deposit right over there. So there's a world where I start making... Wow, this manta is not going to be very much higher than I am. Check it out. There it goes. I wonder if there's ever any incentive to shoot those things down. Apart from the wanton cruelty that would imply. Okay, so let's... I think for now I'm going to stay on task and just go get concrete from the main factory. Which will involve a certain amount of walking, but I think that's still actually... do I want to get that power slug? How am I doing on parachutes? I have some parachutes. Let's go see if I can get that power slug. Alright, I did it. And now the ground around me is surrounded by crabs, so let's try to avoid the crabs. Let's aim for that outcrop, which I think is just copper, but let's verify that. It's not green enough to be uranium. Yeah, it's just copper. I don't care. Alright. Yes, having fun with parachutes is an important part of Satisfactory. I wonder if there's research to be updated over at the main factory. There may be. In which case there's more than one incentive for heading back. Oh, we finished researching purple power slug.
The crystals on this slug can be harvested and converted into 5 power shards that function with current fix-it technology. Several buildings would be capable of performing over 100% capacity if infused. The derived blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 3.
Okay. Let's research mycelia, if I have any, which I should. Just need to remember where I put it. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna put the slug away here. And then I'm carrying iron ore for some reason. I'm carrying iron ore probably just because I was handcrafting steel for a little while, but I don't need to do that anymore. Okay, and like coal can also go away. I'm here mostly for concrete. What else should I be picking up? Let's just grab another pile of reinforced plates. Well, this place is pretty dead. I see. Well, that's because these things are full, which is fine. I don't know that I need this much wire. Okay, that's enough concrete to keep me busy for a while. Let's see. Are there any milestones that I should be thinking about? Oh, yellow shards. Yeah, let's do this. There's also purple shards and caterium. Do I? Oh wow, power pole Mark II. So there's a lot of interesting things to do here. Let's just do the easy one. What was going on there? Something looked a little... Oh, it's just a shadow. I saw this shadow across here and thought that there was, like, geometry clipping into the transport belt. Anyway, okay. I'll pick up some more wires since I might be building like power poles and stuff, and you need wires for that. Okay, I think we have enough concrete. Actually, while we're here, no, okay. I'm being kind of an idiot. I should figure out the best way to get back to the causeway, which is this over here. Alright, so the objective is kind of to automate things such that you don't have to walk back and forth over the causeway too much. That's why I have a truck station in my build queue, because you eventually just want trucks to be moving stuff back and forth. But in the near term, there might be a certain amount of walking back and forth. So I think we've already researched a the game calls Nobelisk, which is kind of a silly euphemism for dynamite, and which can break open cracked boulders, which I think is what those things up over there are. Okay, so now we're going to try to build 2 more assemblers, which requires take a steel beam and combine it with concrete, and you get encased steel beam. But I have automated the production of steel beam now, so life is not too terrible. And I will also need some amount of pipes, so. I mean, I'll also relocate this craft bench. This is not really in a very convenient location. So we need 10 of these. Okay. So I don't want these things too close together, because when it's like this, it's sort of difficult to, like, you can get in from that direction, but oh, okay, this is not that bad. As long as I can do this, then that's fine. Because the ladder is right here, so you have to be able to, I want to be able to access the ladder. That's important. Let's also build out the foundation a little bit more. And build 1 more foundry. Yeah. There. Anyway, both these are doing the only thing a foundry can do at the moment, which is steel ingot. Okay. So now we build a bunch of splitters. The fact that you don't get a guideline on here is kind of annoying, but I think that'll work. Yeah, okay. And then we can also configure the output, which is a merger conveyor. And then we do the same thing over here. Okay, and then we just supply materials for these foundries, and then we just have to connect them to power. Ooh. Oh. Which is to say power. Okay. Now we have 3 foundries making steel. It's apparently okay to have conveyor belts intersecting like this. It doesn't cause any problems. You'd think it might cause some problems, but it doesn't. Now you can see we have way more steel ingots being produced, so that's good. This will probably keep us busy for a little while. Alright. So what we really want is to set up a trucking system to move our steel products back to the main factory. Which I've never done before, so this will be a novel experience. The question is where we want to place our truck station, because as the number of foundries and constructors expand, it's going to expand in that direction, so I want to make sure that I don't, like, run into, like, build a truck station that'll be in the way of all that business. So I think what I'm going to do is build the truck station on the other side of these operations. So I don't know how big a truck station is, but I assume it has to have room for trucks to drive around in, so. Okay. So let's just see what a truck station is. So it's very wide, but okay. So it takes input and output on all the same side. That's a little unusual, but so this one will be mostly taking input, which is to say from it'll take the steel beams and steel pipe and fill up trucks, and then the trucks will drive back to the other one, to the other factory. Well, let's just do it. And I think you can probably, I want to do this to get a handle for how this works. I think you can drive trucks manually. So let's, I wonder what that's supposed to be. Oh right, they're gonna require fuel. I think I can use coal as a fuel. We will see. I'm also not sure how automated this can be. I hope it can be pretty automated, but okay. So this is going to require some stuff I don't have, which is it says can be automated to pick up and deliver resources. We'll see what that means. Okay. I think this might entail another trip back to the main factory, which makes me think that maybe I should try to prioritize our trips back a little bit better. But I think actually a trip back is not terrible, just because I think one thing I am going to do is widen the causeway, which I can do pretty easily. So notably, the first ramp has to be built on a foundation. The second ramp can just be built adjacent to the first ramp. So That saves us some convenience. Because if I'm imagining if I have trucks driving on this causeway, they're gonna need something wider than just one foundation wide. Oops, that's in the wrong place. There we go. So enjoy foundation construction. Turning the corner here is going to be a little bit unusual. I'm not sure how I want to deal with this. Because, like, ramps aren't really designed to handle this sort of situation very well. I might end up rebuilding this. This is also going to burn through a lot of concrete, but I'm going back to the place where I can restock concrete, so it's not that big an issue. Now, yeah, because this is a subpar situation to just have, like, this is very ugly. I don't like it, but I'm not going to deal with it right now. I'll also get back to the factory a little bit faster just by jumping off and using a parachute. What's that? Oh, it's a rock. Anyway. Alright, so the pod's back. So let's research purple shards. This will be pretty easy. We need rotors for the purple shard research and for and to build tractors, so I might need to expand concrete production.
This type of mycelia has strong healing properties. R&D has created a blueprint you can access in Hub Tier 3.
Great. Well, once the pod's back, I'll look at that blueprint. In the meantime, so I need 5 alien organs to do alien organ research, so I can't do that yet because I only have 3. However, I can do research with just 1 bacon agaric, so let's do that. There we go. Alright. And so I need some beacons and some modular frames. I think I can just make the modular frames. I think I'm going to actually plan to build like 3 tractors. So I'm going to need like 15 beacons. Plus I want to have some beacons left over for actually use as beacons, so there. Alright, and we'll be back later. Although actually I can... Yeah, right now I have like one miner and one constructor building concrete, so that's something I'll probably have to increase in the near future, but that's fine. Actually, let's say I wanted to build high throughput concrete production over by the steel area. If I wanted to build a Mark II miner, yeah, I would need a portable miner, but that's not a problem. And then like 3 constructors. Yeah, I can do all that. Okay. Yeah, so actually, let's not build the tractor here. Let's build it over there in case. I also think tractors require fuel, so I might need to be able to refuel it. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to build a tractor over there, but then it occurred to me that with no fuel over there, I would just be building a tractor that couldn't go anywhere. So let's go over to here where we have a coal source. I'm just going to manually pick up some coal here. Alright. Let's assume that I can fuel a tractor with coal and build one. This is relatively compact. Now I'm in third person. How do I... Okay. Okay, so, I don't know what the prompt is to fuel the truck. And the only input I have is E. This is a little bizarre. Let's look at the list of controls and see if I can learn about vehicles. Nope. How interesting. Oh, E to open workbench. Okay. Okay. Vehicle. Okay, so the workbench has 2 tabs. There's the craft bench, so you can craft stuff. And then there's the vehicle, like, thing, which is for fuel. Can I like drag coal? Okay, I have dragged coal over there. And now the engine is moving, so I can execute a 3-point turn. We have a fun little speedometer down there at the bottom showing, oh man. Can I get up this ramp? Yes, I can, but I don't have very much coal left, so let's drive back to a coal area. I can like coast. Ooh. Okay, alright. We've learned about vehicles. We can also free look, so we can like I see the character model is not like what it does with its head sort of tracks where the camera is going. It doesn't like looking backwards, so it doesn't do the Exorcist thing of like twisting its head all the way around. That's fine. Okay. Well, that was fun. So what we really want is to build a line feeding coal into the truck depot, or whatever it's called. Truck station. Yes. Alright. So, one concern I have is like, so if I feed coal into here, is this going to go into the, into like the storage here, or what go into the fuel? But we are here to learn. Also, this thing needs power, I guess, so we can do that. Okay, now it's powered. Which I assume is required for it to actually, like, load trucks. Okay, so what we want to do now is take a coal line down there, which let's expand this foundation. Okay, so I'm going to put another splitter here and split the coal. This. So I'm gonna try the like ideal option, which is just that feeding coal into the truck station will just work. I don't expect it to work, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, so we want to go like up to about here. And actually, I probably want to not do it like that. I probably want to go into the port in the middle, which means going out to about there. It probably bends a little bit. Gross. It really bothers me when like I almost have a 90-degree turn, but not quite, which is admittedly a little silly, but but it doesn't take that long to do it correctly, so wait a minute. Oh, the belt's too long anyway, which means, well, actually. That's acceptable. That actually is the 90 degree turn that I want. Okay. Good. And now we get to see where this coal goes. It probably goes into... Actually, this is... Even if it goes into main storage, that's fine. Because it means that if I want to move coal into... Actually, this is not going to do what I want. Yeah. So what I should do well, there might be more advanced solutions to this, but what I'm going to do instead is just build a box. Actually, it can be a little bit closer. Okay. Wow, this thing only holds 100 fuel. Wow, this is going to be an interesting situation. So let's go get our truck and drive it over to the torque station. Technically it is a tractor. Oh, also I need to refuel it. It's possible that coal is just a very bad fuel for vehicles, and this is an incentive to get a better fuel, which is reasonable. So, like, how do I park it? Oh. Sort of, okay. So the truck station just dumped the coal into the tractor, which is now sitting in the inventory. Okay. That's certainly something. All right. So if I hit, nope. Okay, so what I kind of want is, and this can be, I think, done with a merger, is for steel pipes and steel beams to be loaded into the truck station that then gets loaded into the tractor that then drives over to the factory and back. Which, I'm not sure how I do that without running out of fuel like every 2 trips, but, But I can try that. Okay, so if I put a merger going this way and have it be like here. Oh, Jasper's here. Hello, Jasper. How you doing? Okay. And then So the output from the... I'm going to do something that's a little bit unnecessary. As I demonstrated, it's okay to have conveyor belts overlap, but it's not very aesthetic, so I'm going to try to avoid doing that. So to avoid overlapping conveyor belts, what I'm going to do is build an elevated conveyor belt. Like here. There. Yeah, let's try this. Bonk. And now, this will go there and then go here. Except it's not long enough. How annoying. And then this can just be fitted right there. Right, so now we have steel pipes being directed into the truck station. And steel beams also should do that. There it goes, okay. Now, are those things going to automatically be... Okay. So I think maybe when I parked the tractor at the truck station, it just loaded whatever was in the storage into the tractor. So if I hit this load button, it didn't do anything. Okay. Do these buttons do anything? It's very mysterious. Well, since the tractor has multiple configuration points, does the truck station have multiple configuration points? No, I don't think so. Okay. If I hit unload, that doesn't do anything. Oh, these are just like mode selectors. So right now it's in load, which means that like, if I get in the truck and like drive out of the truck station and then drive back into the truck station, oh. Okay, so I had that a little bit backwards. So this is apparently unload mode. And this is load mode. You're learning all about trucks. That didn't do quite what I wanted. It seems like pushing this button should make the truck get loaded, right? Please, I implore you, put the materials onto the truck. Alright, this might be something I should just look up on a wiki. Which, it's a little annoying that it can't figure this out on its own, but that's okay. I acknowledge that sometimes it doesn't always be, it isn't necessarily super intuitive. Well, anyway. So right now this is acting like kind of a fancy storage container. Well, let's look and see if there's any major bottlenecks in the steel production line. Then I might head back to the main factory and start working on engine production. So it'd be nice to have, it looks like obviously production of steel ingots could be higher. Let's see if any of these, no, these all seem to be green. Oh, not quite. So this foundry is short on coal. And partly that's just because we're feeding half of all coal produced into a box. Which, oh, Mastazah is doing wiki research. There are currently unknown features which will allow performing stunts. Okay. That's good to know. That seems like important information. Alright, I'm gonna just manually feed coal into this thing for a little while. It seems like apart from that, apart from the coal shortage, which a lot of the material shortages that we're having here could be remedied just by having faster logistics. Oh good, if the vehicle is falling off of a cliff, you can reduce fall damage by exiting the vehicle. It's just like Grand Theft Auto. Yes, okay. Alright. I think for the time being, I'm going to head back to the factory. Oh, let's stock up on steel products, and then head back to the factory. Holding C lets you record a path for automation. Yeah, because like the truck had the little overlay that said like path recording or whatever. Yeah, vehicle path not recording. So I can like record how to drive over the causeway. I was kind of curious as far as like what the pathing is like for driving from the truck from one place to another. Well, since I haven't figured out how to load the tractor yet, I'm not going to worry about that. Just take all these steel parts. I don't need that many steel pipes. That's probably enough for now. Well, let's just fill up here. Okay, so you can... Pathing creates a series of waypoints. So it has a pathing algorithm, like, that's good. All right. Oh look, looks like all of my biomass burners are out of fuel, but that's fine. That kind of is the intention. Oh, also, since all of my biomass burners are out of fuel, that means the entire factory is running off of just the coal burners, which that might become an issue. Where's a good place to hold steel products? Not there. Oh, I see I already have some here. Yeah, let's just put some more steel products in here. There.
Amanita lardum, or bacon agate, can be added to the object scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
Great. Let's see. I think I have a hard drive, so let's do some hard drive research. Which is to say, I have a hard drive somewhere. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right, let's get that mushroom scanner. NASA's reports that the wiki is perhaps not a complete reference at this time. That's fine. Oh, we need... do I not have a mushroom? I think I have a mushroom. Oh, yes, I have to remember how to complete milestones. I'm pretty sure that scanner milestones don't actually use the pot. Yeah, okay. Which means we can go ahead and start another one. I am interested in this Caterium business, so let's go ahead and do this. Caterium seems like ultra copper, so if I have to start mining Caterium, then that's fine. I want to get that started sooner rather than later.
Caterium acquisition unlocked, additional to new equipment, building and parts utilizing basic Caterium properties. R&D insisted on inflating your pocket dimension.
Great. Okay. So, let's find out how far away the nearest Caterium deposit is. Oh, only 600 and something meters. There's another one over there. Okay. And then one sort of in the direction of the coal deposit. That's pretty far away though. It's over 1 kilometer past the coal deposit, so let's not bother with that. Alright, so we have a couple of things we can be working on. Notably, like Logistics Mark III requires engines, or motors. So I would like to be able to produce some motors. Motors require stators. So a stator requires steel components, it's steel pipes plus wire. And then a motor is just 2 rotors and 2 stators. So handcrafting 50 motors requires 100 stators. I'm not going to do that. So I want to automate that production at least a little bit. So, nope, Durga's here. Hopefully Durga doesn't want to play with my headphone cable. Oh, there she goes. I'm thinking that maybe it might be time to expand concrete production. And I have all this stuff in my build queue for that specific purpose. So let's go ahead and do that. So we want to make some encased industrial beams for the miner. Right. I think this can all be done in a relatively simple way. So let's just dismantle this. Actually, what I probably should do is start by dismantling the miner. And then just dump all this, that can go ahead and finish what it's doing. Yeah, this thing's empty, so I can reclaim this. Let's go ahead and build just a simple foundation here. Yeah, okay. We can actually connect it up to this foundation. Okay. So I think we just want like 3 constructors instead of 1. Oops. Yeah, okay. Alright, these things will just be making up. Yep, okay. Make concrete. And then if I get up on this one here. There. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put a box like here. And run output like this. This is a little crude, but it's fine. Let's see. How stupid is this going to get? This may get a little stupid. Let's remove this tree. Because now, oh, let's remove this tree too. Where does that power pole go? It goes over there, okay. So I want to build a foundation here, but I can't. So now all that whole factory has lost power, but that's fine. I'll fix that shortly. There. Actually, I might want a foundation there too, so let's just do this. There. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is put a splitter here. So this is, I would ordinarily put the splitter there, and then I can build more constructors that way, but I'm going to put the splitter here for reasons that I think will become relatively clear. Also, I'm holding some amount of limestone that I'm just going to dump into this. Let's see. Oops, out of reinforced plates. Fortunately, I can get more of those because they're right here. Okay. Man, that factory over there seems large, but it's not actually working very fast. So I might need to improve its output shortly. Okay, so now we just need power for these constructors, which can be had over here. And then we need to figure out the input belt. Okay, so build a Mark II miner pointed like this direction. And then we want to get the belt up to there. If I build an elevated conveyor pole like here, nope. Okay, what if I build another one? Actually, I think I can just build one like here. And then just need to drop power to this Mark II miner, and that should work. Alright, let's just check this out and make sure it's working correctly. So I'm going to get up here. Okay, so now limestone is being fed into all three constructors. And let's see here. And now they are all working. Okay, good. I just want to watch and make sure that concrete, in fact, comes out of all of them. Yep, okay. Perfect. Alright, now I've tripled my concrete production, which I think will satisfy my needs for a little while. And that means that I can go do more research, or milestones, which are like research. Oh, right, so I finished researching a hard drive. So hard drives, allow you to get alternate blueprints for stuff, which, so you can only pick one of these. So all of these are generally speaking more efficient than the normal blueprint, but they might require different components. So for example, the default recipe for rotors involves screws and iron rods. And this gives you a blueprint that uses steel pipes and copper. So, also Durga's chewing on the headphone cable. Stop that. So it's more efficient in that it probably takes less inputs, although given that this blueprint requires totally different inputs, it's kind of an apples to oranges comparison. Modular frame requires, I think, reinforced iron plates and screws, or reinforced iron plates and yeah. Actually, I can actually look like reinforced iron plates and rods. So it takes 3 plates, 6 rods to make 1 frame, whereas this takes 6 plates and 6 steel pipes to make 3 frames. So it's more efficient, question mark. So let's you select one of these. I don't think I need this alternate quick wire thing. I assume that quick wire is like copper wire, except it's made with deuterium instead of copper. I'm assuming that as long as I'm mining any sort of deuterium at all, I can make enough quick wire. Rotors and modular frames are something that I might need more of. And I think I'm going to generally need more modular frames than rotors. So, on the other hand, let's see, rotors require... this is... I don't need to deliberate over this too much, because there's not really a wrong selection. There's just sort of like somewhat less optimal. I'm gonna go with the modular frames. Okay.
Data on the hard drive has been salvaged and can be repurposed to unlock an alternate recipe. Salvaging more hard drives will provide additional alternate recipes.
Okay, thanks, Ada. So to actually unlock that alternate recipe, you have to do a milestone, but it's trivial since I actually have the stuff on hand, so bonk. Which, again, that's also a milestone that does not use the pod, so I can start a new milestone. But before I do that, are there any... So there is research available, but I can't actually... I could probably make a crystal oscillator, I think. What do I need to make crystal oscillators? Oh, I need more quartz. I don't even have any... Wait a minute. This is a little weird. Can I really not make quartz? Even though I have some? Like, I don't have a lot, but that's a little funky. Do I... I apparently have researched raw quartz, but I have not done something. Oh, it's this one. Yeah. I haven't done the Explorer milestone. Because the Explorer milestone will let you make quartz crystal from raw quartz. Okay. Which this requires 10 motors, and making motors is sort of, one of my long-term goals. I'm just not very close to it right now. So, yes. So there are a lot of things to do. But there are other milestones that are more accessible, like medicinal inhaler. I can just do this now. This will require more rotors and more reinforced iron plates. And also more copper wire. Alright. So now I can craft the medicinal inhaler, which... Medicinal inhaler fully restores your health. This recipe requires some amount of every basic food item and then some mycelia. But I think I have... Let's just make medicinal and as many medicinal inhalers as I can make. Which I apparently... Yes, okay. I'm apparently carrying all the basic food items, so I just need to pick up the mycelia. And now I need to take the paleberry out of my hands in order to use them at the workshop. That's reasonable. Okay. That actually used a lot of my mycelia, which means I should do some inventory management here. Sorry, I'm like kind of wandering a bit. So now I have these 9 inhalers, which are really only for serious problems, since it is a full health restore. But since I am out of mycelia, I think what I'm going to do is go on an expedition over to Shroom Lake and try to obtain more mycelia. So if I'm going to go on an expedition, I should try to clear out my inventory as much as possible, which right now I'm carrying a lot of various parts. So let's put away this stuff. I will probably end up carrying a lot of wood, but I'm going to put away what I have. Okay. And it's kind of neat that I don't know if you can hear that on the stream, but I can hear the sonic boom of the pod returning. Okay, that's probably fine. I have plenty of fuel for the chainsaw, right? Yeah, okay. Right. Since the pod's back, let's look and see if there's any other... I can do the color gun. These things both require motors. Let's do the color gun. So the color gun just uses petals to make like ink, and you can just here. I'll demonstrate the color gun. This is fun. This requires iron plate, which I apparently have none of, and screws. Okay, so let's go back to. Oh wait, I should just cue the construction. You tonkus. And there. Oh. Okay. Nope. I have to make screws first. That's fine. There. Okay. Now I have one color gun. And let's just make 2 color cartridges. Okay. So now, if I put the color gun on my bar and reload. All right, so you can right click, do color picker. These are the only colors that are available. But now you can make the hub purple, and it is not like spray paint. You just like click and the color changes. So the obvious utility of this is to label things with colors if they. Well, you can't color personal storage boxes. That's kind of lame. And you can spend ammo on them, but it doesn't do anything. Oops. So one thing that this game does not do well compared to Factorio is that Factorio has an informational overlay. Because, like, if I go up here and look out over this assembly line, it's hard to tell at a glance what any given thing is doing. Which Factorio's informational overlay is way better at that. So one thing that you can use the color gun for is like labeling things, but since they're just colors and not like icons or words, then you're just memorizing like what colors mean, which is fine. Like, that's not terrible, but it's not as good as the informational overlay. So anyway, but now the hub's purple, so that's cool. I don't expect to use the color gun very much, so I'm going to go ahead and put it away. And especially if I'm going on Safari, I don't need the color gun because I won't be building anything. And now I'm carrying the screws for some reason, so let's go put those away. Okay. Let's head over to Shroom Lake, and I think the fastest way to get there is to take the causeway. I'm getting tired of having to like jump over all these conveyor belts just to get up to over to the causeway, so I'm going to build a ramp. Can I can do it if I get the, there we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I'm heading over to Shroom Lake because I know that there are mushrooms there. The other thing I could do is head over in the direction of the Caterium deposits and just sort of like expect that there will be mushrooms there, but I'm not going to do that. Do I have, okay, I do have the object scanner, so if I need to like hunt for food, I can do that. Actually, Shroom Lake is in that direction, so let's go this way a little bit further, and then just go overland. This is a pretty big field over here. So since I have coal power now, like harvesting a bunch of wood is not as much of a priority as it was. I might still pick up leaves just to like get them out of my way so that I can see more clearly, but it's not as important to harvest a bunch of wood. Much to Mastazad's chagrin, because they want all the chainsaw action I can tolerate, but oh hey, A crashed pod. Let's see what we got here. Is it being guarded at all? Since sometimes crashed pods are guarded by our neighbors. Doesn't look like it. We can get some motors. That's good because it lets us maybe shortcut some of the research or milestones that require motors. Okay, so this thing needs... I have to power it. Okay, that's interesting. Needs 40 megawatts. It's actually a lot of megawatts. How close am I? Although I'm not that far away from the power lines. Let's just do this. I do like the model of the crashed pod thing where it makes you like bring selected resources to the crashed pod to get the hard drive. It's a interesting game mechanic. Okay, this 40 megawatts is kind of a lot, so it's gonna possibly overload my power grid, but only briefly. And now we get a hard drive. There are other things sitting around here, like all this copper wire, but, well, I can pick up the copper wire without, I think what I'm going to do is have the 500 and then just trash the, everything over 500. I'll take the reinforced iron plates, though. Okay. Uh-oh. So this is entertaining. So the power grid used the 40 megawatts very briefly to open the door, but then everything turned off. So, but we can just turn it back on. It's fine. What the? Oh. So this will just take 40 megawatts forever. Well, I don't think so. So the whole factory turns off because I opened a door. What the? Oh. Something... My capacity should be more than 200 megawatts, but maybe it isn't. Alright, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. Ouch. What's going on may be that I have to build more coal plants, which is fine, but... In fact, let's just queue up more coal plants in the expectation that we have to do that. I think I can handcraft modular frames if it comes to that. Actually, I have a new modular frame recipe in any case, so... It's possible that just building those new concrete constructors is what's taxing my power grid, although, well, we'll see. Yes, everything's out of power. In the expectation that the coal miner is not working and therefore the coal power plants are out of coal, I'm going to take some coal here. Okay, right. So the oh, there actually is still coal. What is going on here? So again, if I do this, that's I don't get it. I don't know why that's happening. But in any case, so it's not, the problem is not that these things burnt up all their coal and are just out of coal. That means I should be able to just build more coal generators. Where's the line? There we go. So 2 is not very many more. It's this is a oops, out of modular frames. I means I have to go over there. I think. Maybe not. I think I have. Do I have a crafting bench over here? I think I do. That's an equipment bench. What do we got in here? I can build another craft bench though. So I just need 2 modular frames. This is being built with the standard recipe, but whatever. So this is a very informal expansion of the power grid here. Oops. Ah. I'm having issues. Okay. Maybe I should quit horsing around here. All right. What? That thing's saturated? Really? That's annoying. I can do this. Okay. Huh. Okay. Let's just throw more coal into all these power plants. So I don't know if the amount of coal that I'm mining... I mean, first of all, one thing that will help is the fact that this coal miner is making 240 per minute, but the belt can only support 180. So getting a Mark III logistic belt, or conveyor belt, will increase coal production. Okay. So that should take care of things, at least in the near term. Hey, can I parachute down to the steel production area? That would be interesting. Yes, sir, I can. Alright. Great. And actually, since the whole trucking endeavor didn't really pan out quite as smoothly as I wanted to, I'm just going to disconnect this coal line, which will make things a little bit more efficient. I will still put the extra coal into this box, but I don't want a bunch of coal being redirected into this box for no real reason. Okay. I think now we can get back to the task at hand, which is to go harvest more mushrooms. I am still carrying a hard drive, right? Yeah, okay. Can I chainsaw these structures here? Can I... Yes. And I get some mycelia, and also crude oil. That's interesting. Fascinating. I'm fairly certain I've already harvested this pod. Yes, this pod I've already gotten the hard drive out of. Is this just another pod? Or this is all part of the same business, right? Yeah. Hey, circuit boards. Cool. Look, I knew I was going to be doing more chainsawing. I just don't need to do it for the wood. Floating paleberry, don't worry about that. This seems to be the edge of the world. So that's interesting, although... Let's go see where this, like, stone bridge goes. I feel like there's... Oh, if I jump into a void, I wonder what happens to my inventory. I hope it doesn't, like, vanish. With the uranium, we saw that when you die, it, like, leaves a little crate with your stuff in it. Like, where you died. But, like, if you jump into a void, is it like Dark Souls rules, where it makes a chest where your last, like, firm was? Or, I mean, this game is still in beta. It might not be quite that smart about it. Okay. Ah, my path is blocked by cracked boulders. Well, that's fine. But maybe I can get through anyway. Nope, can't get through. Okay. That's fine. That's something to save for later. Now I could build a ramp up to there. I think I have some concrete. How do I feel about that? Yeah, sure. Let's try this. I'm gonna try to build the ramp this way. This might work. This is why I wanted to carry around a little bit of extra concrete. So I can do nonsense like this. There. And that's engineering. Alright, so... I'm not sure how much this I need to do. What time is it? It's almost 7:30. I need to go at about 8:30 like yesterday, so... I'd like to get, like, somewhere between 200 and 300 mycelia. So I'm currently at 220. How many... Yeah, mycelia goes into stacks of 200. Actually, if I get about 500 mycelia, then I will probably have enough to make a lot of parachutes. The Garrick mushrooms are also of interest because they are the primary limiting resource for making medicinal... Oh boy, there's a spitter over there. Where'd he go? Oh, there you go. Probably should go to the sword now. I'm not interested in getting knocked off of a cliff here. All the leaves are making this also kind of hard to see what's going on. All of a sudden, we have action. Hi there. Ouch. Okay, there it died. But I saw that there was another one, so... the other consequence of that is I've totally lost my sense of direction. I think it was this way? I don't know. Let's look around. Also, I probably shouldn't be carrying the chainsaw if my intention is to get in a fight. Also, there's another abyss there. So the spitters can like ram you and then it knocks you a decent distance, which I was a little concerned would knock me off into the abyss, but that mercifully did not happen. Was there only the one spitter? I thought I saw another one. Do I care about picking up that mushroom over there? Let's try to figure out what the spitter was guarding. Also, if there is another one. Because usually aliens are guarding something. Oh, large spitter. I don't want to play with you. Also, it seemed to have only been guarding strange alien metal. Ouch. Hold on. I'm gonna take my chainsaw off my bar. Jeez. In fact, let's also switch over to the medicinal inhaler. Okay. You. I'm not very good at first-person shooters in any case, so you get to see me be bad at this one. But I killed the heavy spitter, so that's good. And once again, I'm all turned around, but that's normal. Okay. So it looks like the spitters were just guarding this deposit of SAM ore, which you may wonder what SAM stands for, but I will show you in just a moment. SAM stands for Strange Alien Metal. I am pretty sure that currently it actually has no function, so the reward here is unimplemented features. So that's kind of lame. Did I take the sword off my bar too? Oops. Okay, well I think that's all of the fighting I will be doing in the near term, so I can put the chainsaw back on. Oh, I thought I was short on pale berry, but actually what was happening is I was picking up pale berry and it was going into my inventory instead of going into the quick bar. So I'm not quite on short on pale berries I thought I was. But can never have too much of it. Alright, well, my inventory is also almost full, although some of the stuff that it's almost full of is stuff I don't need, like limestone. I can just throw away the limestone. Silica is also something I don't need very much of, and same with like flower petals. I have a great excess of flower petals. I'm kind of curious to go over there though, in a way that doesn't kill me. The question is, if I go over there, can I get back? I don't know. So I could just jump here, but I think what I'm going to do is build a ramp. By which I mean I'm going to jump it and then finish this ramp. There. Is this the same place, just on the opposite side of the boulders? I think it is. Okay. Well, let's go this way. I think this is just copper. Yep, that's just copper, so that's not very helpful. I can't tell if the light changed just because the sun's rising, or if being inside the mushroom forest is like changes the light levels. I think I hear animals. Oh, that's a smaller spitter. Whoa, there's multiples. It might be time for a sword. Okay, that's one. Whoa. Maybe there were only two of them. I thought I had killed one of them, but I in fact had not killed it. Okay, well, we're definitely in a different environment now. These things look like trees, but they're made out of rocks, and you cannot chainsaw them. As you can see, I don't get the white border, so they're just unusual rock structures. So, there's a power squid over there. Actually, it's a power slug. I call them power squids because power squids are a different thing, but it seems to be guarded by a hog. Sort of. Guarded not very seriously. Also, there's just like mycelia growing on the ground. So you can just mash E and up a lot of mycelia, so that's good. This is what I came here for, so enjoy mycelia farming. By which you mean mycelia harvesting. This is not really farming in any traditional sense. That's probably enough mycelia, frankly. Let's kill this hog. So basic hog just takes 2 bolts, so that's good. Oh. This is a very alien place. Although not so alien that they don't have toxic gas. Let's not just wander blindly into toxic gas for no reason. Let's also learn, so these are like trees. I think this coral looking stuff, I think I can chainsaw it, yes. I can chainsaw this. It gets lots of stuff because it destroyed everything around it. But I think that was mostly, it's like a combination of mycelia and wood. Oh, there's another hog. Is that a larger hog, or is that just a standard hog? I'll find out. Didn't seem to notice. The bolts do have fall off, I think. So once they get... Maybe they don't actually have fall off, I don't know. This guy's having some problems. Where'd he go? I don't know if that was a different hog or not. How am I doing on paleberry versus barrel nut? I think I still have enough paleberry to just use that for basic healing. Looks like that hog was guarding a Mercer sphere, which is to say nothing. This is a new tree formation. Let's continue throwing away limestone. And let's chainsaw this tree. So a relatively small amount of mycelia. That's fine. Oh, okay, so there's a limestone deposit over here. That's... Which is to say... this is an inactive limestone deposit. Like, it should be giving me the prompt to harvest it, but it's not doing that, so... So this is a limestone deposit graphic without the actual limestone. That's unusual, but... I am pretty far afield. It's possible they just haven't implemented it yet. Well, this is pretty cool. I think it might be about time to head back, but I am curious to see if there's any special prizes out here. I see a power slug over there. I think I'm going to head for that power slug and then call it a day. I mean, head back to the base. That power slug seems to be guarded by a spitter of some variety. Trying to not engage the elephants. I don't think the elephants will be very fun. It seems like they will. If I get an elephant mad at me, I'll probably just get killed. Ah, multiple spitters. I don't know how often I'm actually connecting with this thing. Where'd it go? There definitely was a spitter over here. Oh well, anyway. Probably should get up on the high ground if I can. I don't know if that's actually a good tactic or not, but I would prefer to have the high ground if possible. Also, I should at least attempt to dodge. Alright. Okay, cool. Well, that's another power slug. I wonder if going so that way seems to connect back up to the normal grass biome. I wonder if that might be a smoother way of getting back than trying to hoof it all the way. Because I don't know that I can climb up through that direction. So I'm going to try to get over to that grass biome and then try to get back to the hub via that direction. Which might just get me into a lot of fights and be not what I want, but there's another spitter over there. I'm inclined to... Well, there's a lot of aliens around here. This might be a foolhardy decision. So I think I'm only going to engage a little more judiciously than I have been previously, so... Yep. Also, the game's lagging a bit, which makes combat a little more complicated. It seems like I am getting a little bit better at fighting these things, so that's good. Okay, so the base is that way, but I kind of want to get up as high as I reasonably can to see if there's any major impediments or prizes. Oh boy. Okay. Let's use an inhaler. So that was a large hog that had 3 carapaces. Okay. So please enjoy alien murdering action, I guess. Is this an actual outcrop or is this just like, oh, it's just limestone? Okay. So still want to go broadly in that direction, but we want to sort of loop around the mushroom area. Keeping an eye out for interesting treasure and hostile aliens. I'm guessing most of these outcrops are not interesting, like limestone. A lot of them probably are just limestone. Pink trees, huh? Exploring the pink trees might be something to do later. Those orange things are insect nests. They're not very dangerous. So as long as I don't engage too many of them at once, I think I can probably do this. So if you get close to one, then a bunch of bugs pop out. Wait. The sword is pretty effective. As long as... this is probably just total hell on the frame rate. So apologies about that. Where is he? There he is. There. Okay. There we go. Let's chomp like one pale berry. Yep. So the nests drop carapaces, so that is the prize for fighting bugs. There. And the prize is another power slug. So I'm gonna have a lot of power slugs. So one thing I foresee myself doing is once I have Logistics 3, so Logistics 3 gets you that, this is very irritating, that I cannot climb out of this pit. It's not enough of a problem that I'm going to build a ramp out of it, but I can just go around. Anyway, once I have Logistics 3, you get the Mark III conveyor belt, which carries 270 items per minute. Currently, our one coal mine is producing 240, but if I use a power crystal, I can upgrade that to 270, and therefore get full usage out of my conveyor belts. This is interesting. I'm up pretty high. I don't want to surrender the high ground immediately, but on the other hand, I don't think I can get over there. Oh man, there's a crashed pod on top of that very tall rock. Well, I'm not going to concern myself with that. Right now, anyway. Let's see, can I walk around this way? Woof. I'm thankful that this is not an abyss. Like, there actually is ground down there, so if I fall, I can just parachute and I won't die, but... I also still am, like, sprinting everywhere, which, if I was more concerned about falling, I would, like, turn off sprint, but... Whoa, that is a large spitter. I don't know if I want to engage. Whoop. Look, I'll play with you, but not right here. Being pursued by a large animal. Can I guess exploit its AI? I'm not talking very much when I'm fighting large animals, but that's okay. taking a lot of bolts. I think I got it though. For that I get 1 alien organ. That was, does not feel very rewarding. I'm also down to 24 bolts from my rebar gun, so that's, something to take note of. Is there ground here, or is this a void? There's still ground down there in parts, I think. Still would prefer not to fall. I thought I saw another spitter over here, though. Oh. I think I know what this is. First, checking the perimeter. I heard something. It's you. Ouch. Oh. Fine. Okay. Alright. I'm using medicinal inhalers fairly liberally just because I've picked up a lot of mushrooms, which means I can probably make a lot of medicinal inhalers once I get back to the base. At this point, my limiting ingredient might actually be pale berry, which means I probably should switch. Oh yeah, I should probably switch to barrel nut. Okay. There. Now, there is a red aura emanating from that wood over there, so it's time for a chainsaw. And indeed, inside the chainsaw was this thing, which looks like the stoop.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
Thank you. Yeah, Ada tells us to harvest the specimen, but it's a work in progress, so... The red and purple Stussy logo is, unfinished content. That's fine. Well, we got a lot of mushrooms and some alien bits. I'm kind of tempted to just jump and parachute down there, because it will cover a lot of ground, but I don't really want to give up the high ground just yet. So. Also, it looks like there's that orange and black thing over there, which might be... Oh, that's a crashed pod. You can see it over there. But I really should work on getting back to the base. I would like to get back to the base before 8:30, which I am not making great time because I keep getting distracted by interesting alien stuff. So, let's work on heading in the right direction at least. Also, this doesn't seem to go anywhere. Okay. It may be finally time just to parachute down there. Looks like I'm fairly close to the Shroom Lake beacon, which means if I can get there, I would have a clear path back. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Let's actually go this way, though. We can investigate these weird geodesic domes. Hopefully I don't parachute into the middle of a bunch of aliens, but knowing me, I probably will. There's one right now. Well, I'm not under immediate attack, so that's good. Although, let's see. So these things, which look like actual mushroom fungal growths in real life, cannot even be chainsawed. Oh well. They are pretty cool looking. The ones in real life don't get this big. There are mushrooms that grow this sort of structure, but they're a lot smaller and they're not made out of rocks. There's a power slug over there, but it's probably guarded by aliens. I wonder if I can get to the Shroom Lake beacon this way. Oh, there's a bird. Wow. Hello, bird. Anyway. So I don't, yeah, okay. So the Shroom Lake beacon is a little bit over there. But I don't need to, like, very strictly go that way. If I head off in the direction of the uranium deposit and other stuff, I will be heading in approximately the right direction. The music still cuts out from time to time. It's a little bit strange. Alright, I think we're almost out. We can probably go this way. I am interested in not strictly following the exact same path I took to get here the first time, because if I go other directions, I get to pick up more pale berries. But I still want to generally go in the direction of the hub or the steel production facility. Oh, hi. Oops. Ouch. Were you guarding anything at all? I don't think you were. Oop, there's a gas cloud. I think this is the one that I skirted by going around this way. Okay. Hey, there's another... whatever this thing's called. What are they called? Summer sloop. It's just kind of sitting in the middle of nothing. Is anyone guarding it? Nope. I guess I probably should be actually heading back. Yeah, okay. Kind of surprised nobody was guarding that summer sloop. Usually they're either guarded or up high or in a conspicuously, like, sort of significant looking place. And that one had like a ring of sand and rocks around it, but that was it. Is this a different crashed pod? This is the one that just required power, right? Yeah, okay. This is not a different crashed pod, but it does mean we are basically back, so that's good. Okay, that was a very good safari. We got a lot of mycelia. We got how many hard drives do we end up with? Just the one, but that's fine. I'm guessing the whole factory is basically like, yes. Not much is going on because I haven't been doing anything over here for a while, so all the production has halted because everything is full. Okay. So we have a lot to do. First of all, let's put away our like summer sloops and strange alien metal and Mercer spheres, because none of those things do anything. And let's put away our slugs. And I'm going to put the circuit boards away elsewhere. And I think alien organs is something I can research. Let's see. Yes, alien organs. I'm going to put the other alien organs in there. I'm going to turn off sprint now that I'm back at the base. I'm going to take the crude oil and put that somewhere else. Okay. Man. Also, my inventory explodes whenever I sort it, so that's cute. I'm going to put the biological materials in there. And mycelia and silica can go in here. Circuit boards are special. I'm going to take the coal out of there and put the circuit boards in there, because they're like a manufactured part. I think this is a good box to keep manufactured parts in. And then dump the coal and the crude oil in there. Okay. Alright. I have 30 engines. Is there anything I can, anything productive? Oh, I apparently was keeping... Let's keep this stuff in here, I guess. Again, the lack of an informational overlay like makes it so you can't tell at a glance what is supposed to be in each of these boxes, which I disapprove of, but what can you do? Also, I don't need to be carrying a gun around anymore. I'm going to take medicinal inhaler off the quick bar so I don't accidentally use one. Okay, so... So I want Logistics Mark III a lot. But I would have to manually make 20 motors. You know what, I think that's livable. So let's do this, because I definitely do want Conveyor Mark III pretty badly. Okay, so let's make 20 more motors, which means I'm going to have to make some stators. I'm going to need like 40 rotors. Stators require steel pipes, but I have a lot of those, so... So, 40 stators. Logistics Mark III is also nice to have because it doesn't require reinforced iron plates, it only requires steel plates, which are actually a little bit easier to manufacture. Okay, so now I make 20 motors. There. And now we want modular frame, which, oh right. Did I ever research that alternate recipe? I did, okay. So I should be able to... It's kind of weird, I can't select the alternate recipe for the modular frame from the craft bench. Like, I can do it from a assembler, I think, but... Oh well, that's not that big of a deal. I will need more... something. Iron rods. Which are in here? Yeah. Let's just pick up some of this other stuff too. Okay. And 25 of these. Right, so having to craft 50 motors for this milestone would have been kind of a lot, which is why I wanted to automate it, but shortcutting that with the crashed pod is a decent way to get around things. Now I need 2,500 wire, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 300 cable. I think I might need more cable in general, so let's just pick up a little bit of extra there. Okay. Alright, cool.
Milestone reached. Logistics have improved by the means of a container with increased storage capacity and enhanced conveyor belt efficiency.
Hooray. Alright, well, since we now have Mark III conveyor belts, let's make some power crystals with power slug. Let's just convert all these slugs into crystals. I don't need 6 of them. I only need like 1. Okay. How's research going? Research is gonna take a while. Okay. But now we can head over to the coal plant and increase coal production, which will enable us to increase power generation. Which, let's actually, while we're at it, let's just plan to build more coal generators. Like 4 of them. Which means I'm gonna need more modular frames and more cables. That's fair. I think I technically did pick up more cables, but the amount I picked up was kind of pathetic. Okay. There. There. Alright, now we get to take the causeway back over to the coal area. See how it's doing. And I think this expansion of the power supply system should keep us with enough power for a while. Although I might need to go on another coal finding expedition eventually if I don't find other means of power generation, because certainly the system of biomass burning is not really a good solution, because you have to manually feed the biomass burners. Okay, how are things going over here? Well, we still have a decent amount of coal being fed into those. This one, however, is short on something. What's it short on? Coal. Okay, well, that's the problem I'm here to solve, so let's get to work on that. Is there a paleberry over there that I have not picked yet? Perhaps I have not picked it because it's kind of hard to get to. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Okay, so that's not what I meant to do. Oh, do I have? Yeah, I have enough steel beams for this. Okay, so we pick up this Mark II conveyor belt, and now we have Mark III conveyor belts. They just steel beam. That's all it is. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna move the conveyor belts over to here. And now the coal comes off real fast. And I think I'm going to replace this one also with a Mark III. Alright, which won't do much right now because we are consuming power below our generation capacity. So all these things are full of coal, but so right now this is producing at 240 and the output can be as high as 270. So what I'm going to do is use this power shard, drop it in like there, and now you get the slider. So you can, increasing production increases power consumption, so you don't need to take it over 270. But, because it'll just be using power unnecessarily. One thing I don't like about this too much is that you can't, like, manually enter, what you want. But anyway, so that's a little bit over 270, so that's good enough. Now it's using like 14.8 megawatts, which, whatever. Okay. So what we're here to do now is build some additional coal plants. So, let's see. I'm going to do some arithmetic here. So the coal generator burns coal at a maximum of 5.4 per second. Which means, I'm actually going to pull up a calculator. So 60 divided by 5.4 means that one coal generator uses 11.11 repeating coal per minute, which means that maximum capacity, if you are generating 270 coal per minute, is about 24 power plants, but I also want to save some of that for steel generation, so I don't want to build that many. But I think having definitely 10 or 12 coal generators on this one it will be fine. So I probably should have picked up more concrete. Oops. But I'm just going to build this out as far as I can, and then build as many generators as I can. This might actually be wide enough for 4 generators. We will find out very soon, anyway. Okay. we go. Actually, it might behoove me to build a lookout tower to make building these a little bit simpler. Okay, I think this will make it so I don't have to like make the eyeballing a little bit easier. Okay, so let's go over to this side. Anyway, yes, building 3 more coal generators. Yeah, this makes it easier to see the lines. Okay, and also it will make it easier to place the splitters. Okay, so we want the backbone of this to be Mark III conveyor belt, which actually, so that's a Mark III conveyor belt. This isn't, so let's replace those. There we go. Okay. And the belts from the splitter to the generator can be just normal conveyor belts. And actually, placing these from up here is a little bit harder, so I'm going to just go jump down here. Alright, and the final step is to actually connect these to power, which, this should be, okay. Oops, I have accidentally hidden chat for myself by putting a calculator in front of it. Not that that's very important, but anyway. Okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to dump all my extra coal into this thing. So now we have capacity of 500 megawatts, which will last a little while. I think I can take this thing down. There. So that should take care of power generation for some time. Okay, let's see. I have time for a small task. What needs to be done? I'm guessing research is probably done, so let's go update. We may have new milestones also. Let's see, I think I have a lot of steel plates back, or steel pipes back at the base, but now that I have Mark III conveyor belts available, I'm going to be using a lot of steel plates just to build conveyor belts around places. So let's pick up some more conveyor belts. Or plates. Derp. Okay. Also, since I increased coal production, this thing should not have nearly as many coal shortages. Still has a little bit, but not as much, so that's good. Alright, back to Central to update research and milestones, and that'll probably be it. Thinking probably next time There's a lot of factory work to do with like automating the production of modular frames and motors and all sorts of stuff. I think I might also try to research Caterium and maybe sulfur also. But Caterium will enable like better power poles and other things that I don't know about, so I think I want to get moving on that. Okay. It's still going. Smile, 3 minutes left on alien organs. Okay. Let's see. Oh, right. If I wanted to hand... Actually, I think I might do this. Let's do this first. I don't plan on ever building jump pads. Actually, since I don't want to crapping up my build menu, so I'm gonna do this. Wait, 100 modular frames. I don't. Oh boy, that's a lot. Well, I do want the map, and so let's do this. Let's see if I can not go crazy. So wait, this is gonna need like 300 reinforced plates. Do I even have that many over here? Barely. Okay. Yeah, like I need to upgrade the area that's making reinforced plates and rotors needs to be updated to like Mark II miners and Mark III conveyor belts. So that's, well, I still can't even make 100 of them. I guess I need more iron rods. That's fine. Okay. So this is like 1 per second-ish. 1,000, 2,000, not quite a second. I think 3 ticks is a second and 4 is a little bit more. So this is realistically only about like a minute and a half. Or no, that's not how numbers work. This is more like about 2 minutes of sitting here mashing out modular frames, which certainly is tedious. And I should automate the production of modular. I will need to automate the production of modular frames because the space elevator wants, I think, 500 of them, and there's no way I'm going to do this like by hand. I'm not going to make 500 modular frames by hand. That would be like a tape down the mouse button kind of operation. So that is defeating the purpose of a game called Satisfactory. You're supposed to build a factory to automate production, which I should do, but I also want the map. So. Okay. Then I also need... Wow, the craft button got super hot. Okay. I need 20 stators, which means I need more copper wire. All right. This won't be nearly as painful as the modular frame manufacturer. Just make 10 motors. Mess, I'll suggest install an auto clicker. Yeah. Oh, I also need 15 beacons, which I made over here. One thing I will say, oh, I already have a number of them. Okay, is that, like, the difference between the craft bench and the equipment bench seems kind of unnecessary. Like, I would prefer that, like, one problem with the interface is that this list just gets very long. Like, the fact that you have to scroll through all this business is kind of silly. I feel like you should be able to, like, there should be subcategories that you could expand and collapse. And I would prefer if the crafting bench and equipment bench were just made into one thing, and then the list was just, like, you could select between equipment and parts. But I'm just complaining. So, oh, right. Oh, 100 rotors. Do I have 100 rotors on my person? I do not. That's okay. Wing.
Exploration-based technology unlocked. Quartz-based parts accessible, along with a map of your Fix-It-approved designated zone in need of charting. The new vehicle is aimed at efficient travel speed and all-terrain handling.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so now I have, down at the bottom right, there's the shortcuts list, and I have the last one, which is the map, which is Z instead of M for some reason. But so the map's very large, because you can see I traveled really far away and over here where it turned into the weird mushroom desert biome. And like you can zoom way past that. So the map's real big. This beacon, which I've labeled very poorly, there's a coal deposit. The coal, like this is Abyss, and the coal deposit is on the other side of the Abyss. It's like over here or something. So the map's kind of neat. It doesn't offer a lot of. It doesn't show like any of the structures that you have built at all. But that's okay. And notably, for example, if I scan for something, like, let's scan for Caterium again, the hits will show up on the map, so. Okay, so we have Caterium over here, kind of near that coal deposit, so it might behoove me at some point to go out and start mining coal over here, and then also mining Caterium, because the Caterium is also, looks like it also is on the other side of the Abyss. And then if we scan for sulfur, which is necessary for explosives, I seem to recall that there was some over in this general direction. Oh, there's some over here. Well, that's actually pretty close to the steel facility. So I should probably just start mining sulfur from here. And then what else do we have? There's also quartz. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sulfur way over there. That's like, yeah, 2.8 kilometers away. That's pretty far. Okay, so I actually got pretty close to a quartz deposit, but even that is, like, the distance from here to the track to the steel facility is like half or like 40% of the distance over to the quartz facility, or quartz deposit. Yeah, is that it? Yes, 1.5 kilometers. Great. Oh good, there's quartz almost 4 kilometers away. Jeez, okay. So it looks like I'm kind of in the bottom left corner of the map, because like there's resources way out here, and there's not much past, like this island and then stuff that's on this island over here. I'm calling them islands, but they're actually like across an abyss, so it will take interesting construction to cross those. Alright, I think research should probably be finished by now. Yes. Do you have anything to tell me about alien organs? I guess not. Okay. Do I have... Oh, I do have a hard drive, though. I'm not going to hang around long enough to see the results of this hard drive, but that's okay. I can just get the research started. Okay, I think that's all for today. Do I have any junk in my inventory? No, this is fine. Alright, well I got a lot done. Next time, I will have a lot of other things to do. I think I might start the sulfur mine, because it's pretty close to the steel facility. And then we can have explosives that can be used to blow up cracked boulders, which I've never done before. So, that could be exciting. Alright, thanks for joining.